GH is back. It's episode 9 of our gaming news video timestamps. Let's not waste any more time. Let's do this. First up, the EU is cracking down on unfair virtual currency practices in games targeting children. The European Commission and Consumer Protection Cooperation Network have launched enforcement action against Star Stable Entertainment AB, the developer of Star Stable Online, following a complaint from the Swedish Consumers Association. The investigation highlighted concerns over manipulative pressure tactics, unclear pricing, and undisclosed influencer marketing targeting younger players. Star Stable Entertainment has 1 month to respond to these allegations. In response to broader concerns, the EU has introduced key principles aimed at increasing transparency in virtual currency practices. These guidelines calls for clear pricing, the elimination of hidden costs, respect for consumer rights, and special protections for children. The European Commission will also host a workshop with gaming companies to discuss compliance, warning that further enforcement actions may follow if the industry fails to meet the standard. And here is your Steam news. Valve has removed Sniper Phantom's resolution from its platform after users identified malware in the game's demo. The game initially raised suspicion due to stolen promotional material and a demo link that directed users to an external site. Upon investigation, the executable, misleadingly named Windows Defender Smart Screen.exe, was found to be an info-stealing malware using GitHub repositories to download additional payloads and escalate privileges. Security analysts detected behaviors like browser data theft and network interception. Despite the removal of the game and its associated GitHub repositories, concerns remains over Valve's screening processes, especially following the recent malware incident with Pirate Fi. And in other Steam news, the City Builder and Colony Sim Fest is offering discounts on a variety of management titles until March 31. Games like Republic of Pirates, Manor Lords, Workers and Resources, Norland, Patron, and Kingdoms Reborn are among the featured deals. Players can experience detailed city management in Workers and Resources, survive post-apocalyptic challenges in New Cycle, or navigate political intrigue in Tropico 6. With discounts available for a limited time, city building enthusiasts have an opportunity to expand their game libraries. And okay, here are the games releasing from March 25 to 31. Starting on March 26, we have JDM, Japanese Drift Master, releasing on PC. This open-world driving game lets you experience Japan's car culture with realistic drift physics, quests, and hundreds of kilometers of roads to explore. Also on March 26, Grit and Valor 1949 arrives on PC. Set in an alternative post-World War II scenario, you command a mech squad to battle against Axis forces in a tactical real-time strategy combat. Another title launching on the same day is Mother Machine on PC. This is a co-op action RPG platformer featuring procedurally generated caves, character customization, and a chaotic multiplayer gameplay. Moving on to March 27, Bubble Ghost Remake will be available on Nintendo Switch. In this puzzle game, guide a ghost and its bubble through an enchanted castle while avoiding obstacles. Now, Karma: The Dark World launches on PlayStation 5 and PC on March 27. It's a first-person psychological thriller set in a dystopian version of 1984 East Germany. Next, Which Way Up Galaxy Games releases on March 27 for PC and Switch. This gravity-defying party game supports up to 4 players in a competitive minigame across space-themed arenas. Next, Sins of a Solar Empire 2 Paths to Power arrives on PC on March 27. This DLC introduces scenario-based mission maps, adding new strategic challenges. And on the same day, there's a lot of games releasing on March 27. As We Descend releases on PC. It's a roguelike deck builder where you recruit and upgrade forces to combat monstrous enemies. Sports Renovations will be out on March 27 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. In this game, you restore sports facilities, complete side quests, and manage your renovation business. Your House is also coming on PC on March 27. This narrative puzzle thriller blurs the lines between fiction and reality. Blue Wednesday launches on Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox on March 27. This adventure game focuses on music, storytelling, following the life of a pianist named Morris. On March 27, again, Gal Guardian Servants of the Dark releases on PC, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. It's a Metroidvania sequel to Gal Guardian's Demon Purge, featuring 2 protagonists with unique playstyles. Now, Care Bears Unlock the Magic will be available on Switch and PlayStation on March 27. You can play alongside the Care Bears in a variety of arcade minigames. Now, Atomfall launches on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S on March 27. This survival action game has players exploring a nuclear disaster zone in Britain. Next game is AI Limit. Arrives on again March 27 for PC and PlayStation 5. It's a sci-fi ARPG set in a post-apocalyptic world where you explore ruins, battle enemies, and uncover the truth about civilization's collapse. And the last game releasing on March 27, the first Berserker Kazan, will release on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. This action RPG is set in the Dungeon Fighter Online universe, featuring intense combat and a narrative centered around revenge. Now, on March 28, Inzoi, am I pronouncing this correctly? It enters early access on PC. It's a life simulation game that lets players shape stories and explore human experiences. Dollhouse Behind the Broken Mirror will be out on March 28 for PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. It's a psychological horror game that explores a fragmented mind through a cinematic experience. On March 31, Sultan's Game releases on PC. This narrative card-based simulation game is inspired by 1001 Nights, where choices dictate your survival in a ruthless court. Also on March 31, Wild Keepers Rising will be available on PC. This action RPG roguelike combines creature collecting with wave-based combat in a hand-drawn world. And finally, Post Trauma launches on March 31 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Inspired by classic survival horror games, it's a puzzle adventure where you navigate eerie environments and confronting unsettling threats. That wraps up the game releasing from March 25 to 31. Now let's start with the Gacha news. First Gacha news we have is Wuthering Waves version 2.2 update Tangled Truth in Inverted Tower. Launching on March 27, it adds a new main quest, companion story, regions, echoes, and a phantom echo. Players can access new resonators, Cantarella, and Rover Arrow, along with weapons like Whispers of Siren and Bloodpact Pledge. Special events include exploration challenges, combat trials, and login rewards. The update also brings optimizations for PC, including incremental updates and improved UI. Additionally, the game will launch on Steam on April 29. Remember last week we discussed an upcoming Digimon TCG-like game? Well, here it is. Bandai Namco has announced Digimon Alysion. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but I'm going with that. According to this, it's a free-to-play mobile card game. While the release date is still unknown, a closed beta is planned for a later date. The game will feature microtransactions, of course, and introduce new characters like Kanata Honde, Futre, and Valor Dragno. Now, Kanata's partner Digimon, Gemmon, is a white fluffy creature with gem-like features. This announcement follows the success of Pokemon TCG, which has already surpassed 100 million downloads and is currently the top 1 earning gacha game worldwide. Additionally, Bandai Namco is working on Digimon Story Time Stranger, scheduled to release this year on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. And since we're talking about TCG, here goes Pokemon TCG news. The Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is set to release its latest expansion, Shining Revelry, on March 26, 2025. This expansion introduces shiny Pokemon along with Pokemon from the Paldea region. It will feature over 110 cards, including Pokemon EX, new trainer cards, and an immersive design. And further details is accessible on the official website. And last month, I gave you all the news about King's Raid shutdown. And they did shut down the game, but not after deleting all the accounts of players. Now, they want to re-release the game. Masangsoft has announced the resurface of King's Raid, promising to bring improved version of the game. According to their statement, they are working with excitement and anticipation to meet player expectations. What do you think? And here's another. Remember a month or two ago, I showed you all mecharashi? And I said it's imitating Front Mission because it quacked like Front Mission and it walked like Front Mission. You guys know what I mean. Well, Square Enix just made it official by filing a lawsuit against the Chinese developer HK103 Limited, accusing them of copyright infringement with their game Metal Storm, also known as Mecharashi. Square Enix claims that Mecharashi or Metal Storm copies substantial elements from Front Mission 2089 Borderscape, a mobile game that was developed under a now terminated licensing agreement with Shanghai Shizun Information Technology Co. Ltd. After terminating the agreement in 2022, Square Enix retained all copyrights to the Front Mission IP. Despite this, Mecharashi was released in October 2024, allegedly using assets and designs from the unreleased Borderscape game. Square Enix issued a formal demand to 10-3 in December 2024, requesting the removal of infringing content and written assurances against further violations. While 10-3 acknowledged the demand and claimed to have changed some of the aspect of the game, Square Enix said not all infringing content was removed. Now, in February 2025, Square Enix escalated the matter by sending DMCA takedown notices to Valve, Apple, and Google, resulting in Valve removing Metal Storm or Mecharashi from Steam. However, 10-3 contested the takedown, leading Square Enix to file legal complaints in both the Tokyo District Court and the US District Court for the Western District of Washington. The company is seeking damages including up to $150,000 per copyright violations, legal fees, and injunctive relief to stop 10-3 from continuing the alleged infringement. Front Mission has been a significant IP for Square Enix since its debut in 1995. I myself has finished most of the Square Enix Front Mission games, except the last one, the Front Mission 6 if I'm correct. The one they didn't translate to English, that one, I didn't finish that. Yeah, I know fans already translated it and I already have it on my phone on an emulator and I just couldn't get myself to play it right now because there's so many games. I'm still playing Final Fantasy Rebirth and Civilization 7. When I'm done with that, maybe I'll try to finish it. Anyway, that's the latest on the lawsuit. Let me know what you think about this situation in the comments. This issue means a lot to me because I'm a big fan of Front Mission. And now, here is the free game of this week, Jurassic World Evolution 2. It's a management simulation game where players build and manage their own dinosaur parks, featuring an original narrative campaign, 4 game modes, and a roster of dinosaurs with voice acting from the Jurassic World film cast. And if you've been keeping up with Palword, the version 0.5.0 brings crossplay across all platforms, a global PAL box for storing and transferring PALs, and a dimensional PAL storage with expanded capacity and guild access. Players can customize appearances using the cosmetic armor system, capture moments with photo mode, and use the new drafting table to upgrade blueprints. Adjustments include improved building alignment, increased EXP from the attack chopper, and refined elemental attacks. Now, additional achievements, interface upgrades, and dedicated match servers are also introduced, alongside numerous bug fixes. Palword remains in early access on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC via Steam and Game Pass. And leave a like before you go. This is Gaming Hardcore. See you on the next one.